This is the Darren Green Show. Is it on? Is this bitch recorded? Oh, let me stop before I get sued. Anyway, welcome to the Darren Green Show. I'm your host, Darren Green, here to give you another stellar episode of this podcast. Okay, now I'm gonna ask you how you guys been, but I'm kind of talking to myself right now, so we just gonna keep it moving. I have been doing okay. I could be a little bit better. Just a lot of situations that's happening this week and a lot of things that I have to do and have to, just get back to life, because I just feel like I'm just out of it, Chad. I feel like I'm not in control of the wheel. Someone is taking the wheel. Hopefully it's Jesus, but it's probably not. So it's just a lot that's going on, and I've just been trying to just roll with the punches. You get what I'm saying? And we'll just get into that a little bit later. But anyway, let's get into these logistics, because we have to say this, have to let this be known. If you're watching this video on YouTube, which you have not been, because I looked at the statistics of the last episode, I'm like, where is my YouTube people? Please, if you're watching this video, give it a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button and tap the bell to get notified of all of those videos on YouTube. Look, I'm going to be making more content for it. I know you guys hate the audiograms, but there's a lot of situations going on right now. If you're listening to us on iTunes or Google Play, hit that subscribe button to give me a rate, and also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at TDGSOfficial. I haven't been on TDGS Official until recently because of a situation, but yeah, I have not been on that app. I've been that invested in other things that I just do not have time for the social media to post news and stuff like that, because I really feel like I want to do that, but it's just like I have no time, and it's kind of consuming when you have other obligations to do, which I put myself in anyway. I have to work because I got to make money, and also doing this internship also, it just takes off half of the week, because when I'm back from that, and I thought that a sit down job wouldn't have you coming home tired. No, I am sadly mistaken. A sitting down job makes me even more tired, because I'm looking at a computer for about 5 hours, and then I come home. I had to unfortunately call out this week because of this trip, and we'll get into that later. But yeah, it has definitely been time consuming. I don't know. I feel like I need to just take a break for a little bit. Maybe like a week off, No podcast, no internships, no job. You know what I'm saying? Just stay home and meditate. I feel like that's what I need to do, but I never do it. I never come around, because, I'm addicted to working. And if I feel like I'm not doing anything productive, then I feel like there's something wrong. So, and this is how I've always been. I don't think it's going to change. And, I do see you guys listening. Last episode, the audio version on iTunes, Google Play, wherever you're listening to this at. Thank you so much for those views. Thank you so much for the downloads. And I'm just, very humble that you guys are actually taking time to listen to me, because, child, this is why I really do it, because I want to bring in and home in listeners. I would never say fans, because listeners. You guys are my listeners. And basically, it's just the reason why I do this podcast, and I don't know why I'm getting into this whole story arc, but the reason why I'm getting into this podcast, or I do podcasting and stuff like that, is because, I always talk when I was little, but I never really had people that actually listen to me. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like this, seeing people that download my shows and actually watch my shows, it makes me feel like, oh my God, this is more validation than just regular people that I see every day. You get what I'm saying? So thank you. Thank you so much. I can't express that enough. Now, I'm going to talk about this retail job before we get into it, because I am going on this trip, but my job actually got it right, and they actually processed my time off. I'm like, wow, y'all, this is the first time ever they actually remember to get me off. I'm like, thank you, because I was really about to, child, if they would have scheduled me, I'd have been like, y'all would have been SOL, because unless you're trying to fly me back out to Jersey, I'm not leaving this place. But yeah, so I have a week off. Which, okay, let's talk about this trip a little bit more. Because, I started thinking a little bit more about this trip. And the more I think about the whole situation with that whole, well, my club advisor told me, oh, well, we took you out the radio track because we don't have a radio station. You know what? Why didn't you tell me that when we first talked about this trip back in, what, May? Or it could have been April or something like that. But it was definitely back then. And you definitely said, oh, there's a radio track you can be into. And I said, oh my God, yes, now I'm going because I want to do the radio track. Why I find out till now, you're like, oh, well, we don't have a radio station, so it doesn't make sense. You don't know what they're going to be teaching me in there. They could be teaching me like editing techniques, or they could be teaching me how to talk better or how to announce better and stuff like that. It's not about like the radio thing. And then you just assume that I was, because I'm in the internship, that's enough. It ain't enough. I'm over here doing digital journalism. For what? I'm still mad about that. And what pisses me off more about it is that now we're getting other logistics about this trip. Okay, so everything is paid for. Now I already knew that we had to be responsible for our own food, but now the plane ticket is paid for, but you got to pay for luggage. I'm like, what? Oh, really? Oh, we got to pay for luggage. Oh, I didn't know about this. I just feel like in the future, and this is really straying me away from ever doing any more conferences with the club that I'm in. I'm going to start asking, I need heavy logistics. I need details before I even agree to anything. Because that don't make no sense. Like, you don't know what was in my pocket. I could have been just saved enough just to eat. Now I'm $20 short, $25 short, because he said it was a $20 fee, but I'm pretty sure it's probably not going to be just $25 because and then she was trying to say that, oh, well, but don't bring too much. I'm like, don't bring too much. We're going to be there 5 days almost. Damn near. What? Wednesday, because you want to change, you want to take a shower and all that, get on Wednesday, so you're going to change. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and that's 5 days of clothes and stuff that you need and toiletries and everything. Yes, I'm going to have to pay for luggage. You should have told me that. Now, ain't like I would have like not went. I might have would have went, but yeah, no, I probably wouldn't have went because if she would have told me from then on that we are not doing the radio track because we don't have a radio station, then what the hell? And what really pisses me off, I was offered to not host or anything but to work and to network, at the Newark Pride. So Newark, New Jersey is having like a LGBT Pride event, which is like, I don't know, so weird because it's after Pride, but whatever. And I was asked to go by a person that, if you see my personal page and you see my photo shoot for Pride, hit my personal Instagram is in the link of wherever you're listening to this at. He had offered, he was like, hey, you want to come down and help out and do some work for the Newark Pride, because I know you are into podcasting. We might put you in some things, you can meet people, greet, network. You get what I'm saying? I could have made some more listeners. I could have really networked my podcast. You get what I'm saying? But I'm over here flying to Minneapolis to play journalism. Honey, I'm not a journalist. And that's just like, oh my God. I know I can't get mad at nobody but myself because I'm the one that agreed to go to this trip. But goddamn, you left out some shit. A lot. And yeah, I'm probably going to be missing out because at the end of the day, I'm not going to be interested in no digital journalism. And she tried to sit there and say, oh, what digital journalism might mean, computers and social media. If it was social media, then would have said social media. That's marketing. Advertisement. Digital journalism, that's blogs. That's what you read, like reading the paper online. That's what digital journalism is. Reading a electronic magazine or some shit like that. That's digital journalism. And boy, I tell you, I'm going to start saying no. I'm going to start saying no because I feel like I'm not in control of none of my decisions, apparently. Because even when I talk to people that I know, friends or family, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you need to go, you need to get out. Stop complaining about the situation. You about to go to Minneapolis. Honey, you're not in my shoes. Like, at the end of the day, if you was doing a trip to do something that you thought you was going to like, something that's in your range of what you want to do in life, But then they'd be like, oh, what? No, we're not going to put you there. We're going to put you in engineering. Yeah, because we feel like we need you in there. Then you have an issue with it too, because I'm like, I'm going on to this trip, and I can't even opt out, because if I opt out, I owe the school, and like I said, I am not owing the school any more than I have to. Yeah, so I'm just gonna start saying no, and I'm not gonna ask for nobody's advice. It's a dub, and that's just like the moral of this story. Don't ask for advice. Make your own decisions. Say no. Because let me tell you, child, you will be broke, and that's another thing too. I'm spending my money. I don't like spending my money, especially if it's for something that I'm just like, meh, like I don't care. Like I didn't mind spending my money for Pride because that's what I wanted to do. But this, I gotta pay for my own food. We're at a college. Why isn't the caf open? Why? I mean, shit. We can't even eat at the caf. We gotta eat outside of the campus. So I'm like, well, damn, y'all could at least have the caf. So now I gotta probably, because it's probably a big college. So I probably have to sit there and Uber somewhere out the damn campus to get something to eat. That's gonna be, yeah, I'm probably spending about $300. I'm not speaking, let me knock on wood on that, because I'm not speaking that into existence, child. That's about all I got. But still, like this trip, oh my God, I'll be glad when it's over. And I could just come back home, stack up my little bit of coins, get some outfits, because I need some fits for when I come back to school. And when I come back to school, no. That's going to be the MO. No, I ain't going. I ain't spending my money. I ain't doing this. No. This is why college kids are poor now, because they sit there and bait us to go all these events and stuff like that. And we over here spending our money. We need to be learning about how to save your money, child. We need to have more positions on campus. You get what I'm saying? So that's just a whole nother situation in itself. And let me not vent anymore, because, we got to get into some things. Now, like I said earlier, I haven't been on social media, but I had to go on social media because of this situation. Now, for those who don't know, but you probably do know, but Cameron Boyce dies at age 20 years old. He died in his sleep because of a seizure that was because of an ongoing medical condition. His family spokesperson said that to ABC News. We don't know exactly what it is. What it was. And it's sad. It's really sad because, you're not invincible. At any age you can go, which is, and this is the second person, XXXTentacion was like around that age. He was like 20, 23 or something like that. He died. It's really like, like young people, especially if you knew him or you grew up watching him on Disney. I never had the luxury of having Disney. We always had basic cable, whatever. But I did watch him on Grown Ups and Grown Ups 2. I remember I seen him in some films and stuff like that. He was, and he was entertaining and he was funny and all that in a bag of chips and stuff like that. But it's just very disheartening to see someone die at such a young age like that. It just really, because first of all, I woke up and I seen some dude post him or whatever. I'm like, what the hell this dude posting him for, child? What's going on over there? And then I'm like, no, this can't be true. I looked on the Shade Room. I'm like, no. Oh my God. Yeah, it was horrible. I know my cousin really, it hit home for my cousin, because my cousin she did watch a lot of Disney, but she didn't know him that much, but like, she did watch a lot of Disney. It is disheartening. And then we got people, I got into a little bit of arguments this week, but there was some people, and then my cousin confirmed too, because there was people on social media just saying like, oh, what could have been drugs, this and the third. I'm like, is that the stigma? Every Disney star on drugs now, just because Orlando Brown wanted to be stupid, just because Miley Cyrus wanted to act dumb for a season, doesn't mean that he was on drugs as well. Like, he could have had epilepsy. You get what I'm saying? That's a real thing, and people really do die off that. You get what I'm saying? And for people to sit there and say, oh, it could have been drugs, like, no. Why would you say that? It's whatever, child. People got their own opinions, but, the news is saying it's because of an ongoing medical situation. So, we don't know what it was. And rest easy. That's all I have to say. And it's just terrible. It's anybody can go. It's just, we're in this reality where, you could be about 1 year old, 3 years old, 30, whatever. You can die anytime. And that's just the terrible, harsh reality that we live in, child. Someone need to take me out, honey. I'm kidding. Anyway, I've seen Spider-Man Far From Home. I want to talk about this, and it might spoil. So I'm gonna ask the people that didn't see the movie, because I might spoil some things, but not everything. I'm going to have it in the description that where to skip to. Okay, so this is at the threshold where you want to skip to that point that's on the description and from wherever you're listening to this or watching this podcast. Okay, so you've been warned. All right, so yeah, I watched Spider-Man Far From Home. I will say that the movie got good towards the end, you know, because we had first of all, we had Spider-Man villains. You get what I'm saying? Well, the first one, I mean, the Falcon or whatever, not the Falcon, but the Vulture or whatever that was. It was I vetted it. It's definitely a real Spider-Man villain, but he wasn't really that popular. But this is the one that was popular, a popular Spider-Man villain that's not freaking Green Goblin and all that other stuff that they've been redoing. This is Mysterio, which was very interesting because I did always found that villain very interesting, so I'm glad that they used it. And I like how they baited I call them the young Marvel fans, you know, the ones that are young and don't understand, like the marketing tools that they use. They try to make it seem like they was working together, him and Spider-Man, but all along, like I said before, Mysterio was a renowned con man. Now, they made him a little different. He worked for Tony Stark, which is Iron Man, and he got fired. And that's why he's mad, and that's why he became Mysterio or something like that. But, you know, the original one, he was just a con man. He just wanted to get money and just be magical and well, no, not magical, be fake and all that, and just do all that type of fake shit. But overall, the first part of the first act of the movie, I would say, it wasn't dry. It was just it was a little awkward. Like, it was like that awkward teen stuff. Like, you know, oh my God, like, yes, like, oh my God, I love MJ. I gotta have this perfect moment. Like, yeah, it was kind of like that. I just didn't really, I wanted them to get into it. Because, you know, Marvel gets into it. You get what I'm saying? We just came from Endgame, which was bars is auto. And I feel like that's what it is too. Because that the bars was set so much higher because the last movie was just everything. And that the next movie seemed a little lackluster. Now, I don't think that the whole movie was lackluster. I just feel like the first part I just did not mess with. I'm like, you need to put on your suit and just fight somebody right now. Like, come on. We need this, get it rolling. There were some things too, when it got to the action sequences with Mysterio and, you know, and Peter. I feel like I watched a lot of reaction and reviews and stuff like that on YouTube, and I feel like they were very biased. I'm sorry. I mean, like the biggest YouTuber movie spoiler reviews, I was like, are we not gonna sit there and discuss the fact that it was some poor techniques, it was some poor antics in this movie? I mean, come on, let's be honest. I mean, the part where Peter just literally just met this freaking guy out of nowhere about a couple days, and you just sit there and just give him $1 billion glasses that was given to you by Tony. I'm like, you just gave this dude the glasses? Like, who does that? That was just, that's unrealistic even to a teenager. You get what I'm saying? Like, I would never, you get what I'm saying, in my youth, give somebody them expensive ass glasses that has control. I mean, you don't know what this person is. You get what I'm saying? You just met this person. Because I feel like they wanted to make it, he's looking for a mentor. I'm like, no. That was just, and then the after sequence when he tricked him or whatever, and then he was explaining his evil plan, that was whack. I'm sorry. That's something that you do. First of all, it was stupid because when Mysterio was explaining his plan to everybody, I'm like, everybody already knows because you're telling your people. That just didn't make any sense. I can understand if you was like, you know, if you had that part where he had him in that little mind trip thing, that was a trippy ass scene. I ain't gonna lie. And that was my favorite part of the whole movie, when he was tripping up Spider-Man and he didn't know what was going on and tricking him and turning himself into Nick Fury and shit. And it's actually being that shit. That's when you should have told him your evil plan. Like, you should have told your people. But I'm like, this is dragging. Like, come on. Could we get this moving. It was a lot of awkward scenes in there, and nobody wants to. I feel like nobody wants to address it because I feel like we're so like pro Marvel that every movie that they do is great. But y'all had no issue talking crap about Captain Marvel though. Now, I personally feel like Captain Marvel was a little bit better than this movie. Unpopular opinion. Even Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 92%. A prestigious. I'm like, am I wrong? Like, am I tripping? A prestigious like group of critics gave it a 92, but they gave Captain Marvel 79. I believe. Don't quote me. I don't know. I feel like we're just at that point where it just, we're pro Marvel, and anyone who's against it, you a hater, whatever this and there. I love the movie. The movie was all right, but I don't feel like it was. I feel like it was overhyped. That's, yeah. I just felt like it was a little bit overhyped. And to me, it just had too many scenes where I was just like, okay. And then they did other stuff that is just like far, far away, far from home. It was just far from the Spider-Man that we knew. Because first of all, only people that knew who he was MJ, and that's it. Now the whole goddamn city knows. The whole, well, actually not the whole city, child, the whole world, child. Because we're talking about in this new era of just like, when you think about MCU characters, they're like out of this world. They're out of this world. So like everyone knows. He gets outed by his, and I feel like a lot of people feel like, Marvel is doing this now where they're not having like the superheroes have secret identities because it gets a little, okay now. It's too much trying to keep this secret. People just need to know who you are, which is, I feel like with Spider-Man, it's more important that people don't know who he is because then he'll, every villain will try to go after Aunt May or try to go after MJ or his friends. So it's going to be difficult. He better, I hope he lives like Iron Man shit because Iron Man could do that shit because at the end of the day, he lived in a mansion, which was probably guarded by his robot Iron Man. But Spider-Man, he just he live in Queens. He ain't doing nothing. Ain't nothing. It's true. He ain't protecting nothing. Not when he out. Oh my goodness. But it was refreshing to see another Marvel movie. They actually gave us 3. I should actually be happy that Marvel gave us 3 movies this year. They gave us Captain Marvel, Endgame, and then Far From Home. I think they're done. They're like, all right, we gave y'all 3 movies this year. We done. But they said they're supposed to be making some announcement about the 4th phase of the Avengers. And that's what I kind of wanted to see in the post-credit scenes, but I didn't see it in the post-credit scene. You've seen a lot of, it was the last post-credit scene with Nick Fury. We found out that that Nick Fury and that girl that he was with, they were Skrulls, and if you don't know what a Skrull is them little green alien things that shapeshift in Captain Marvel. And so they had it and then they had like another scene that pandered to Nick Fury in like a space chamber or something like that, and simulated beach or whatever. So he's been in there. We don't know how long he's been. We don't know how long Nick Fury has been the Skrull. Because I did notice like in Captain America Winter Soldier, there was many occasions where I thought that man was dead. And I'm like, maybe they just switched out another Skrull. Because that don't make no sense. You literally got shot in the damn chest. No. But yeah, we'll just see where this goes. I don't know what other Marvel movie is coming out next, but we're getting one soon, and we'll see about it. Now, without further ado, I feel like I did a lot with this little intro. But without further ado, let's get into these hot topics. And let me just let you know that this podcast is brought to you by getting your shit together. Okay? Y'all need to get your shit together. I feel like a lot of people in the media, a lot of people in this world, y'all need to get their shit together. Because, when you don't have it together, it's not going to work. I feel like the country of Sweden needs to get their shit together. Why y'all got A$AP Rocky stuck in there? Mind you, he was defending himself. And now y'all going to try to sit there and put him in jail, put him in solitary confinement. And then if he loses, he'll get like 6 years. They already don't like Americans, and he's black, so it's worse. I'm like, oh my God, they really about to put him away for 6 years. And I heard other countries' jails and prison system. Child, they have you living outside. They can. Shoot, at least we got some decent jail cells here, or prison. Yeah, I just feel bad. Free ASAP Rocky, because he probably was defending himself, but then it's the American. If you go to another country and you start doing a rah rah, then they want to arrest you because hey, you're American. You're not like. That's just crazy. Oh my God, I feel so bad. I wanted to talk about that because I feel like I didn't talk about it last episode. And I'm like, dang, this happened. I forgot. Also, white racist Americans need to get their shit together with this petition to recast Little Mermaids. Have her, switch out Haley with some white girl, maybe Jennifer Lawrence or something. Please, not Emma Stone. First of all, a petition? Are you kidding me? That's why I said these petitions are being problematic. They're getting problematic because we're doing a petition for everything now. A petition? And then people actually putting money to it. I'm like, the person that probably made that probably really wasn't for it and was trying to get money. Maybe I should do that. I'll make thousands of dollars on you hoes that I... But anyway, Bailey Haley will be Ariel. Period. Whether you like it or not. And half of y'all, let me just say this, half of y'all not even pressed about Disney making a Little Mermaids movie. Y'all was not even trying to push Disney to make no Mermaids movie, but now they're making a Mermaids movie, and it's going to be black, and now you're mad. Y'all acting like y'all some real fake fans, to be honest, because ain't nobody, that was such an unpopular movie to me. Nobody, I mean, like, there was fans that watched it or whatever. Like, I watched Little Mermaids. Everyone watched it, but it wasn't, compelling. It didn't captivate me or anything like that, but no, it captivates everybody because she's a black woman and people don't like that. And I see a lot of black people. I see a lot of black people that sit there and be reposting these little racist memes and saying funny things and stuff like that, or maybe this person should play no. I didn't partake in none of that. I didn't like anything. I didn't share anything. I didn't find anything funny because it's not funny, to be honest. And when you sit there and joke with them, you feel like what they're doing, what they're creating with these little racist ass memes is okay. And it is not. You ain't getting a stream from me. You ain't getting no type of... No. That's not what's going to happen. Now, hold on. Let's be real honest though. Let's be real honest. We should definitely learn change. You get what I'm saying? We should definitely be used to change, right? Our last president was like, change is key, right? I'm misquoting him, but that's what he meant. He was, change. So let's talk about change. What about, the white people that took the roles of black and brown people? Let's talk about that now. Let's talk about Angelina Jolie as Mally Pearl. Okay? Or Ben Affleck as Antonio Mendez. Let's be real honest. Oh, wait. And what about Joseph Fiennes as Michael Jackson? Hell, shit. Lawrence Oliver as Othello. But, and his ass was in blackface. Come on. Let's be honest. But no, it was a different time, right? It was a different time. But no, white people was taking people's roles. That one, the Gods of Egyptian, all like the main cast was all white. I'm like, what? There's no Egyptian actors? What? Who thinks of this? Like, at the end of the day, like, y'all can do it to us, but we can't do it to y'all. And that's the problem. And it's not, and this whole thing, and let me just say this, it's not getting back, just because, we're doing a black Ariel, because first of all, this is Disney's choice. This was Disney's choice, period, at the end of the day. Because Disney would have had, if they wanted to, they would have had a white person. And nothing would have changed. But no, they wanted to change it up. Because there are roles that are only exclusive for white people because it was originally white in the past, and I do like how there really was no Nick Fury fans, but in the comics Nick Fury from Marvel was white, but now he is black, obviously because of Samuel Jackson. Yeah, it's going to happen. I mean, it's at the end of the day, I don't think it's that serious. I really feel like and I really hope that Haley Bailey does not. I hope that she does not pull out of this situation because I don't know. I just feel like when certain people get into it and it gets real and you start hearing some shit like you know want to back out, but please do not back out because you have to show them that you are strong and that you can do this role and that you will be Ariel. You get what I'm saying? Don't nobody want no other man. Like who else out there could play Ariel right now? Name another relevant white young actress. You get what I'm saying? Let me think. None. I mean, the twins, they're on Black, they're on Grownish, and you know, they're really good actors and they can sing. And one of them got rolled and casted as Ariel. Get over your lives. Like, I don't see people are really upset about that. They're really doing a boycott. They're not gonna watch it. I'm like, that's fine. You know, black people gonna watch it, child. Because at the end of the day, when y'all was saying Black Panther wasn't gonna be nothing, and it was something. All right then. And then they doing tit for tat like, oh, well, we want Jennifer Lawrence to play Princess and the Frog. Go ahead. If it makes you feel better, if it makes you sleep at night, go ahead. She could be that frog. I don't know, child. This country, and it's really this country. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that there's any other country. Well, don't quote me on it, but it's really this country. You get what I'm saying? We're in this whole butthurt era, and everybody is just like, oh my God, my people lives matter. My people lives matter. Oh, shut up. My God, that's what really pisses me off about the country. It's not even the government. It's also the people too. To be honest, child, I'm gonna move to another planet, child. You gonna catch me on Mars, child. Catch me. I'll be in this. I'll still be on here weekly though. But you can catch my ass on Mars because I'm getting out this damn world. This world is freaking trash. Ugh, to be honest. But anyway, now KellyRowland. We gonna segue out for the Ariel situation. KellyRowland. Now, okay. So a little bit update story on the whole Chris Brown situation. Yes, him and he's been actually no, people have been putting their opinions on it after the whole Tokyo situation. And I know Lil Duval says something and we'll get into that a little bit later. But KellyRowland commented on Chris's post. Not a negative post, but just like a regular post. And she commented, "We love you, Chris." Girl, don't lie, we don't love him. Anyway, she put that there, and I feel like she got a little bit of backlash because I'm like, honey, as a dark-skinned black woman, that, you know, and I watched the Impressive channel, and she said that, oh, well, I wish she just wouldn't have said it at this time. I mean, when would have been the right time? I mean, it would have just looked weird if she would just said it out of nowhere, just 2 years from now, and be like, oh, I love you, Chris. Well, I do see that. I will say this. KellyRowland is always the type to try to stop the tension between any type of beef. Like when the whole Cardi and Nicki situation happened and she was like, yo, you guys cannot be fighting. She didn't really take no sides. She just was like, we just, as colored women, we need to stop this violence and stop trying to fight, especially at a high profile event. I agree. But this one right here, it just seemed like she took a side, and that's why people are mad about it, because she said, we love you, Chris. But I'm like, what's your explanation behind that? Like, I know that Chris Brown, like, I don't think that he's a colorist. I do think that he disrespects women, though. You get what I'm saying? The whole colorist thing, you know, if you believe in Tokyo, then you believe Tokyo. You get what I'm saying? But I don't have any facts, so I can't say that it is true. But I do feel like she tries to see the good in people, and I feel like, girl, don't try with everybody now. And I just feel like she just needs to get it together, because I'm like, And then Lil Duval said something. He said some I'm paraphrasing it, and basically he said, well, when a black woman says she don't want no light skin or short person, it's okay. But when a black man says I don't want no dark skinned woman, then it's not okay. And this, that, and the third. He had a whole paragraph in which That's when we're getting into the whole preference thing. Now, I will say this. There are a lot of girls, there are a lot of black women that I do know that will say those type of things. I don't see any that will say they wouldn't date no light skin. Maybe like one or two. But definitely the short thing. Because there's a lot of women that don't like short men. And I feel like, but y'all can't get mad if they say we don't like, you know what I'm saying? We don't want you, because I feel like it's tit for tat with the exes, and the exes just need, both of them, male and female, y'all need to stop with this whole, you can have a preference, but don't put anybody down, because I do feel like women do that as well. They do because there are women, I do believe that there are women that say that, oh, I don't want to date no light skin, or I don't want to date no person that's shorter than me, or something like that. Well, how could you get mad if they say I don't want to date a fat person, or I don't want to date someone that's darker? Now, someone in the comments of his little divorce comments did say this. He was like, because it's not rooted in the same level of anti-blackness that has been permeated throughout our culture, more importantly, our history. Now, that's true. At the end of the day, colorism, that is something that's been rooted into our culture, and basically it is. However, you know, Lil Duval has a little bit of a point, but it can never amount to, colorism and stuff like that. Because obviously, like, why your preference isn't dark skinned women? You get what I'm saying? Because it's not because, is it really a preference that you have, or is it because it was just deep rooted into you? That's all you saw on television was white or lighter skinned, fair skinned women or men or whatever. Because, it happens in the gay community too. There's a lot of colorism in the gay community as well. Yeah. So what was it? You get what I'm saying? I feel like I don't see color, and let me stop saying that. Let me say I don't see color, because that's some kind of, I don't discriminate. Like, my preference is very versatile when it comes to skin color. Like, it doesn't matter. I mean, like, I feel like you could be cute and dark, you could be ugly and dark, you can be cute and light skin, you could be ugly and light skin. We have all seen that. Okay, so I don't think that, and I'm not trying to say people should feel like I feel, but it's just like, if you have a preference, that's okay, but just don't bring anybody else down. Because when you say, oh, I don't fuck with bitches with the bad hair. Now, that has nothing to do with colorism, first of all, and I don't like how people try to equate the two, because people calling him a colorist because of the Tokyo thing. But the whole good hair thing, what is good hair? I mean, you get what I'm saying? What is considered good hair to you? It's irrelevant, really, because it's your preference. It's not everybody else's. You get what I'm saying? But I don't know. I guess it's a conversation. I wish that Chris Brown actually would have engaged in this type of conversation, or it would have been like a debate where it was more civilized and not more of a dig or trying to read somebody or trying to comfort somebody. Definitely, it could be. The Grapevine needs to touch on this. I feel like they're waiting for everything to die down so they can. Because I feel like they should talk about this, and I feel like, maybe Chris Brown shouldn't say nothing, but someone that has the same opinions as Chris Brown should talk on there, just so we can see what was going on with that whole situation. But as of always, child, we got to get to the next topic because it's another Nicki topic. Okay, now. I didn't want to talk about this too, and I hate that I'm doing this podcast on Monday, but I really had to wash my clothes for this trip that I'm going to be going on. So I was going to do it on Sunday, but then I ended up watching Spider-Man, and then I went to my grandma's to wash clothes. And I'm doing this on Monday, which you'll be getting it Monday. And I don't know, like, I was into this whole Nicki situation. Now, Nicki out of nowhere posted a bunch of rants on social media, on Twitter. Well, yeah, social media, Instagram and Twitter. And basically, in that paragraph, she talked about how or in that post or the caption or whatever, she talked about, I always shouted out my influences. I always said it was Kimmy Rim and Foxy, yada, yada, yada. And then she went on to say Billboard was trying to say that a white person influenced her, which is not true, this, that, and the third. Now, well, that white person is Lady Gaga. And there was an article from Billboard that praised Gaga, but in the same swoop, the article also said artists like Beyonce and Rihanna were influenced by Gaga. Not taking into accountability that women in the 90s, like Janet Jackson, Left Eye, and Missy Elliott, probably had an influence on Beyonce and Rihanna. But, I guess we can say Gaga, even though, Gaga came way later. Like, 2010? She started popping at 2010. 2009, if y'all want to be technical. Beyonce been out since the 90s. Rihanna's been out since the early 2000s. You get what I'm saying? So, yes, I do feel like Beyonce and Rihanna's influence was probably Janet Jackson, Missy Elliott probably, and Left Eye. I wouldn't say Left Eye, but, more Rihanna with Left Eye. But Gaga? Really? Now, however, nowhere in that article did they ever bring up Nicki Minaj. And allegedly, Nicki was responding to a tweet that was made by a regular person that alleged a quote from Billboard. And the quote said, Lady Gaga is a force that changed the market of the American scene. After Lady Gaga, there were many imitations of her. All record companies are trying to find their own Gaga. I don't think that Billboard would ever say imitations, but like I said, there was no Nick. Like, the thing about it was, though, this was a regular person that tweeted this and quoted allegedly Billboard. There's no article on the Billboard's file that's on record that said that quote. I looked myself because I got it from the Impressive channel, but I also looked myself because you never know. Some people could be wrong. There's no article that said that, and I feel like she was just going by like somebody's tweet. But you came for Billboard indirectly. Like, why are you coming for Billboard? They're like the gods here. They chart your music. That's why your Megatron is at 20. You don't want that to go back down. Because they can do things if you make them mad. Now, I'm not trying to sit there and say, oh, you should be their slaves or anything like that. Or you should. But at the end of the day, like, yeah, if they would have said that, then yeah, you come for them. But the fact that they didn't say it and you look kind of dumb. I'm sorry. Like, I gotta step out of being a fan right now, and I have to be the commentator that tells the truth. You look dumb, and it was good. Also, it was good to see that you stayed true to your influences. Like, yeah, Kim and Remy, even though y'all beefed or whatever, and that did cause another conversation, which I thought was very interesting. But you came for Billboard when Billboard wasn't coming for you. What is going on? I don't know. I mean, and whenever she gets back on Queen Radio, hopefully she has something, some tangible thing, something that we don't know about, or whatever. And maybe she's going to say, oh, it was taken down or something. Girl, no article on record was even talking about you when they was talking about Gaga. And is it so bad that you may have been influenced just a little bit by Gaga? Because there were outfits that y'all wore that looked a little similar. I'm not saying that you copied, and that's the thing. People get the whole thing. Oh, you think I'm copying? Like, I'm not copying off of nobody. I'm not like, no one's saying that you're copying, but you and her kind of favor each other in certain outfits and stuff like that. But I feel like that was really in the beginning, and I feel like now you have your own wave. Like when people say, oh, you used to copy off of Kim and stuff like that, I was like, okay, fine. Let me give them the benefit of the doubt. Obviously, Kim did stuff that was a little bit similar. But I feel like now, Nicki, she is her own. This is her own lane. Now people copying off of her, which is, that's really true right now. People copying off of her. I don't know. And it also brought up the conversation of like, oh, do you think Kim because she was so loosely saying their names and saying that, yeah, they were my influences. And yes, I always respected them in interviews because we're just going to keep it there. Let's be real. You kept it real. You spoke on them highly in interviews, but I still can't get over that time when you first was coming out making your little music and you literally said in a line, Kim, I'm about to take your spot, or I'm coming for your spot. Yeah, that starts beefs, child. But I do see maybe that I would like to see them hash everything out and actually do a song together, or maybe not, or just be cool. You get what I'm saying? And she also mentioned, because she was doing a whole lot this weekend. She was also giving out Megatron challenges and stuff like that, like who can dance or rap or whatever, and then you get flued out and hang with me and stuff. And she also said, I'm working on a couple projects with some people that you like. And I'm like, oh my God. And then somebody was like, yo, Ladies Night Part 2. I was like, nah. I don't think it's going to be like that. But she did say she would do something like that. I don't know. So I'm guessing that she's going to be working with other female artists. Maybe like the new ones like Meg and Asian Doll, maybe Cash Doll. But, I mean, if she does something with Kim, like, yo, what if they came up on an award show? Maybe the VMAs, because, you know, Nicki's still cool at the VMAs. And, like, they start performing. And, like, Lil' Kim and Nicki just jump out of nowhere. I'm like, oh, my God. That would be cool. But, you know, things never work out, child. You know, people still, they beef to the very end. The very end. They're going to be old as hell, still beefing, child. I'm telling you. Now, this pre-show was kind of lengthy, which I love and adore. And thank you for listening if you made it this far. And this is it for Hot Topics, and this is it for the show. Now, I have a couple of announcements to make. If you have any type of business that you want promoted, if you do music, if you do beats, and you want it to be promoted on the podcast, I can show you my statistics. I get some views now. I can get some views. I can get you there. Please hit my email, or you can hit me up on social media. I don't mind DMs. I'm not professional like that. Shoot me a DM. If you have music, send me a little snippet. I'll feature it in the beginning or middle of the show. Or if you have a business or something that you want me to talk about, you know, I can just give me something to write about. Give me something to talk about so I can, like, you know, read it off the paper and then, you know, do a little promo deal for you. And it's all for free, but there is a catch. And please hit me up for the details. Now, until next time, I'm your host, Darren Green, and this is the Darren Green Show, signing out.